Chapter 11. It happened, when Jabin king of Hazor heard of it, that he sent to Jobab king of Madon, and to the king of Shimron, and to the king of Akshaph, and to the kings who were on the north, in the hill country, and in the Arabah south of Chinneroth, and in the lowland, and in the heights of Dor on the west, to the Canaanite on the east and on the west, and the Amorite, and the Hittite, and the Perizzite, and the Jebusite in the hill country, and the Hivite under Hermon in the land of Mizpah. They went out, they and all their hosts with them, many people, even as the sand that is on the seashore in multitude, with horses and chariots very many. All these kings met together, and they came and encamped together at the waters of Merom to fight with Israel. The Lord said to Joshua, "Don't be afraid because of them, for tomorrow at this time I will deliver them up, all slain before Israel. You shall hamstring their horses, and burn their chariots with fire." So Joshua came, and all the people of war with him against them by the waters of Merom suddenly, and fell on them. The Lord delivered them into the hand of Israel, and they struck them, and chased them to Sidon, and to Misrephoth-maim, and to the valley of Mizpah eastward, and they struck them until they left them none remaining. Joshua did to them as the Lord bade him. He hamstrung their horses, and burnt their chariots with fire. Joshua turned back at that time, and took Hazor, and struck the king of it with the sword, for Hazor before was the head of all those kingdoms. They struck all the souls who were therein with the edge of the sword, utterly destroying them. There was none left who breathed, and he burnt Hazor with fire. All the cities of those kings, and all the kings of them, did Joshua take, and he struck them with the edge of the sword, and utterly destroyed them, as Moses the servant of the Lord commanded. But as for the cities that stood on their mounds, Israel burned none of them, save Hazor only, that did Joshua burn. All the spoil of these cities and the cattle, the children of Israel took for a prey to themselves, but every man they struck with the edge of the sword, until they had destroyed them, neither left they any who breathed. As the Lord commanded Moses his servant, so did Moses command Joshua, and so Joshua did. He left nothing undone of all that the Lord commanded Moses. So Joshua took all that land, the hill country, and all the south, and all the land of Goshen, and the lowland, and the Arabah, and the hill country of Israel, and the lowland of the same, from Mount Halak that goes up to Seir, even to Baal-gad in the valley of Lebanon under Mount Hermon. And all their kings he took, and struck them, and put them to death. Joshua made war a long time with all those kings. There was not a city that made peace with the children of Israel, save the Hivites, the inhabitants of Gibeon. They took all in battle. For it was of the Lord to harden their hearts to come against Israel in battle, that he might utterly destroy them, that they might have no favor, but that he might destroy them, as the Lord commanded Moses. Joshua came at that time, and cut off the Anakim from the hill country, from Hebron, from Debir, from Anab, and from all the hill country of Judah, and from all the hill country of Israel. Joshua utterly destroyed them with their cities. There was none of the Anakim left in the land of the children of Israel, only in Gaza, in Gath, and in Ashdod did some remain. So Joshua took the whole land, according to all that the Lord spoke to Moses, and Joshua gave it for an inheritance to Israel, according to their divisions by their tribes. The land had rest from war. Chapter 12. Now these are the kings of the land, whom the children of Israel struck, and possessed their land beyond the Jordan, toward the sunrise, from the valley of Arnon to Mount Hermon, and all the Arabah eastward. Sihon, king of the Amorites, who lived in Heshbon and ruled from Aroer, which is on the edge of the valley of Arnon, and the city that is in the middle of the valley, and half Gilead, even to the river Jabbok, the border of the children of Ammon, and the Arabah to the sea of Chinneroth eastward, and to the sea of the Arabah, even the salt sea, eastward, the way to Beth Jesimoth, and on the south under the slopes of Pisgah, and the borders of Og king of Bashan, of the remnant of the Rephaim, who lived at Ashtaroth and at Edrei, and ruled in Mount Hermon, and in Salakah, and in all Bashan, to the border of the Gershurites, and the Maacathites, and half Gilead, the border of Sihon king of Heshbon. Moses the servant of the Lord and the children of Israel struck them, and Moses the servant of the Lord gave it for a possession to the Reubenites, and the Gadites, and the half-tribe of Manasseh. These are the kings of the land whom Joshua and the children of Israel struck beyond the Jordan westward, from Baal-Gad in the valley of Lebanon, even to Mount Halak, that goes up to Seir. And Joshua gave it to the tribes of Israel for a possession according to their divisions, in the hill country, and in the lowland, and in the Arabah, and in the slopes, and in the wilderness, and in the south, the Hittite, the Amorite, and the Canaanite, the Perizzite, the Hivite, and the Jebusite, the king of Jericho, the king of Ai, which is beside Bethel, the king of Jerusalem, the king of Hebron, the king of Jarmuth, the king of Lachish, the king of Eglon, the king of Gezer, the king of Debir, the king of Geder, the king of Hormah, the king of Arad, the king of Libnah, the king of Adullam, the king of Makkedah, the king of Bethel, the king of Tappuah, the king of Hepher, the king of Aphek, the king of Lasharon, the king of Madon, the king of Hazor, the king of Shimron Meron, the king of Akshaph, the king of Taanach, the king of Megiddo, the king of Kedesh, the king of Jokneam in Carmel, the king of Dor in the height of Dor, the king of Goim in Gilgal, the king of Tirzah, all the kings 31. Chapter 13. Now Joshua was old and well stricken in years, and the Lord said to him, You are old and well stricken in years, and there remains yet very much land to be possessed. This is the land that yet remains, all the regions of the Philistines, and all the Geshurites, from the Shihor which is before Egypt, even to the border of Ekron northward, which is reckoned to the Canaanites, the 5 lords of the Philistines, the Gazites, and the Ashdodites, and the Ashkelonites, the Gittites, and the Ekronites, also the Avim, on the south, all the land of the Canaanites, and Mearah, which belongs to the Sidonians, to Aphek, to the border of the Amorites, and the land of the Gebalites, and all Lebanon toward the sunrise, from Baal-Gad under Mount Hermon to the entrance of Hamath, all the inhabitants of the hill country, from Lebanon to Misrephoth-Maim, even all the Sidonians. Them I will drive out from before the children of Israel. Only allot you it to Israel for an inheritance, as I have commanded you. Now therefore divide this land for an inheritance to the 9 tribes, and the half-tribe of Manasseh. With him the Reubenites and the Gadites received their inheritance, which Moses gave them, beyond the Jordan eastward, even as Moses the servant of the Lord gave them. From Aroer, that is on the edge of the valley of Arnon, and the city that is in the middle of the valley, and all the plain of Medeba to Dibon, and all the cities of Sihon king of the Amorites, who reigned in Heshbon, to the border of the children of Ammon, and Gilead, and the border of the Geshurites and the Maacathites, and all Mount Hermon, and all Bashan to Salakah, all the kingdom of Og in Bashan, who reigned in Ashtaroth and in Edrei. The same was left of the remnant of the Rephaim. For these did Moses strike, and drove them out. Nevertheless the children of Israel didn't drive out the Geshurites, nor the Maacathites, but Gesher and Maacath dwell in the midst of Israel to this day. Only to the tribe of Levi he gave no inheritance. The offerings of the Lord, the God of Israel, made by fire are his inheritance, as he spoke to him. Moses gave to the tribe of the children of Reuben according to their families. Their border was from Aroer, that is on the edge of the valley of the Arnon, and the city that is in the middle of the valley, and all the plain by Medeba, Heshbon, and all its cities that are in the plain, Dibon, and Bamoth Baal, and Beth Baal Meon, and Jahaz, and Kedemoth, and Mephath, and Kiriathaim, and Sibmah, and Zereth Shachar, in the mount of the valley, and Beth Peor, and the slopes of Pisgah, and Beth Jesimoth, and all the cities of the plain, and all the kingdom of Sihon, king of the Amorites, who reigned in Heshbon, whom Moses struck with the chiefs of Midian, Evi and Rekem and Zur and Hur, and Reba, the princes of Sihon, who lived in the land. Balaam also, the son of Beor, the soothsayer, did the children of Israel kill with the sword among the rest of their slain. The border of the children of Reuben was the Jordan, and the border of it. This was the inheritance of the children of Reuben according to their families, the cities and the villages of it. Moses gave to the tribe of Gad, to the children of Gad according to their families. Their border was Jazer, and all the cities of Gilead, and half the land of the children of Ammon, to Aroer that is before Rabbah, and from Heshbon to Ramath Mizpah, and Betonim, and from Mahanaim to the border of Debir, and in the valley Beth Haram, and Beth Nimrah, and Succoth, and Zaphon, the rest of the kingdom of Sihon the king of Heshbon, the Jordan and the border of it, to the uttermost part of the sea of Chinnereth beyond the Jordan eastward. This is the inheritance of the children of Gad, according to their families, the cities and the villages of it. Moses gave inheritance to the half-tribe of Manasseh, and it was for the half-tribe of the children of Manasseh, according to their families. Their border was from Mahanaim, all Bashan, all the kingdom of Og, king of Bashan, and all the towns of Jair, which are in Bashan, 60 cities, and half Gilead, and Ashtaroth, and Edrei. The cities of the kingdom of Og in Bashan were for the children of Machir, the son of Manasseh, even for the half of the children of Machir, according to their families. These are the inheritances which Moses distributed in the plains of Moab, beyond the Jordan at Jericho eastward. But to the tribe of Levi Moses gave no inheritance. The Lord, the God of Israel, is their inheritance, as he spoke to them. Chapter 14. These are the inheritances which the children of Israel took in the land of Canaan, which Eleazar the priest, and Joshua the son of Nun, and the heads of the fathers' houses of the tribes of the children of Israel distributed to them, by the lot of their inheritance, as the Lord commanded by Moses, for the 9 tribes and for the half-tribe. For Moses had given the inheritance of the 2 tribes and the half-tribe beyond the Jordan, but to the Levites he gave no inheritance among them. For the children of Joseph were 2 tribes, Manasseh and Ephraim, and they gave no portion to the Levites in the land, save cities to dwell in, with the suburbs of it for their cattle and for their substance. As the Lord commanded Moses, so the children of Israel did, and they divided the land. Then the children of Judah drew near to Joshua in Gilgal, and Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, the Kenizzite, said to him, You know the thing that the Lord spoke to Moses, the man of God, concerning me and concerning you in Kadesh Barnea. 40 years old was I when Moses, the servant of the Lord, sent me from Kadesh Barnea to spy out the land, and I brought him word again as it was in my heart. Nevertheless, my brothers who went up with me made the heart of the people melt, but I wholly followed the Lord my God. Moses swore on that day, saying, Surely the land whereon your foot is trodden shall be an inheritance to you and to your children forever, because you have wholly followed the Lord my God. Now behold, the Lord has kept me alive as he spoke these 45 years, from the time that the Lord spoke this word to Moses, while Israel walked in the wilderness. And now, behold, I am this day 85 years old. I am as strong this day as I was in the day that Moses sent me. As my strength was then, even so is my strength now, for war, and to go out and to come in. Now therefore give me this hill country, whereof the Lord spoke in that day. For you heard in that day how the Anakim were there, and cities great and fortified. It may be that the Lord will be with me, and I shall drive them out as the Lord spoke. Joshua blessed him, and he gave Hebron to Caleb the son of Jephunneh for an inheritance. Therefore Hebron became the inheritance of Caleb the son of Jephunneh the Kenizzite to this day, because he wholly followed the Lord, the God of Israel. Now the name of Hebron before was Kiriath Arba, which Arba was the greatest man among the Anakim. The land had rest from war. Chapter 15. The lot for the tribe of the children of Judah, according to their families, was to the border of Edom, even to the wilderness of Zin southward, at the uttermost part of the south. Their south border was from the uttermost part of the salt sea, from the bay that looked southward, and it went out southward from the ascent of Akarabim, and passed along to Zin, and went up by the south of Kadesh Barnea, and passed along by Hezron, and went up to Adar, and turned about to Karka, and it passed along to Asmon, and went out at the brook of Egypt, and the goings out of the border were at the sea. This shall be your south border. The east border was the salt sea, even to the end of the Jordan. The border of the north quarter was from the bay of the sea at the end of the Jordan, and the border went up to Beth Hoglah, and passed along by the north of Beth Araba, and the border went up to the stone of Bohan the son of Reuben, and the border went up to Debir, from the valley of Achor, and so northward, looking toward Gilgal, that is over against the ascent of Adumim, which is on the south side of the river. And the border passed along to the waters of En Shemesh, and the goings out of it were at En Rogel. And the border went up by the valley of the son of Hinnom, to the side of the Jebusites southward, the same as Jerusalem. And the border went up to the top of the mountain that lies before the valley of Hinnom westward, which is at the uttermost part of the valley of Rephaim northward. And the border extended from the top of the mountain to the spring of the waters of Nephtoah, and went out to the cities of Mount Ephron. And the border extended to Bela, the same as Kiriath Jearim. And the border turned out from Bela westward to Mount Seir, and passed along to the side of Mount Jearim on the north, the same as Chesalon, and went down to Beth Shemesh, and passed along by Timnah. And the border went out to the side of Ekron northward, and the border extended to Shikaron, and passed along to Mount Bela, and went out at Jabneel, and the goings out of the border were at the sea. The west border was to the great sea, and the border of it. This is the border of the children of Judah round about according to their families. To Caleb the son of Jephunneh he gave a portion among the children of Judah, according to the commandment of the Lord to Joshua, even Kiriath Arba, which Arba was the father of Anak, the same as Hebron. Caleb drove out there the 3 sons of Anak, Sheshai, and Ahiman, and Talmai, the children of Anak. He went up there against the inhabitants of Debir. Now the name of Debir before was Kiriath Sepher. Caleb said, He who strikes Kiriath Sepher and takes it, to him will I give Aksha, my daughter, as wife. Othniel, the son of Kenaz, the brother of Caleb, took it, and he gave him Aksha his daughter as wife. It happened when she came to him, that she moved him to ask of her father a field. And she alighted from off her donkey, and Caleb said, What do you want? She said, Give me a blessing, for you have set me in the land of the south. Give me also springs of water. He gave her the upper springs and the lower springs. This is the inheritance of the tribe of the children of Judah, according to their families. The uttermost cities of the tribe of the children of Judah toward the border of Edom in the south were Kabzeel and Eder and Jagur, and Kina and Dimona and Adada, and Kedesh, and Hazor and Ithan, and Telim, and Bealoth, Hazor Hadada, Kerioth Hezron, the same as Hazor, Ammon and Shema and Molada, and Hazar Gadah, and Heshmon, and Beth Pelet, and Hazar Shual, and Beersheba, and Biziothia, and Bela, and Aim, and Ezem, and Eltolad, and Chesel, and Hormah, and Ziklag, and Madmana, and Sansana, and Labaoth, and Shilhim, and Ain, and Rimmon. All the cities are 29, with their villages. In the lowlands, Eshtaol, and Zorah, and Ashna, and Zanoah, and Inganim, Tapua, and Enam, Jarmuth, and Adullam, Soka, Azekah, and Sha'araim, and Adithaim, and Gedera, and Gederothaim, 14 cities with their villages. Zenon, and Hadashah, and Migdal-gad, and Dilian, and Mizpah, and Joktheel, Lachish, and Boscath, and Eglon, and Cabon, and Laman, and Chidlish, and Gederoth, Beth-dagon, and Naamah, and Makkedah, 16 cities with their villages, Libnah, and Ether, and Ashan, and Iphthah, and Asnah, and Nezib, and Keilah, and Achzib, and Mareshah, 9 cities with their villages, Ekron with its towns and its villages, from Ekron even to the sea, all that were by the side of Ashdod with their villages, Ashdod its towns and its villages, Gaza its towns and its villages, to the brook of Egypt, and the great sea in the border of it. In the hill country, Shamir, and Jatir, and Soko, and Dana, and Kiriath-Sana, the same is Debir, and Anab, and Eshtemoh, and Anim, and Goshen, and Holon, and Gilo, 11 cities with their villages, Arab, and Duma, and Ishan, and Janim, and Beth-Tappuah, and Aphekah, and Humta, and Kiriath-Arba, the same as Hebron, and Zior, 9 cities with their villages, Maon, Carmel, and Ziph, and Juttah, and Jezreel, and Jokdeam, and Zanoah, Cain, Gibeah, and Timnah, 10 cities with their villages, Halhul, Besur, and Kedor, and Marath, and Beth-Anon, and Eltekon, 6 cities with their villages, Kiriath-Baal, the same as Kiriath-Jearim, and Rabbah, 2 cities with their villages. In the wilderness, Beth-Araba, Middin, and Sakaka, and Nibshan, and the city of Salt, and En-Gedi, 6 cities with their villages. As for the Jebusites, the inhabitants of Jerusalem, the children of Judah couldn't drive them out, but the Jebusites dwell with the children of Judah at Jerusalem to this day.